I know you and your recliner are busy right now, but you need to pipe down, little girl. You can listen if you want to. We have more accounts. We're both under agencies. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. That recording's going to go everywhere regardless. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. Don't waste your time. People going to hear it one way or another. I'm getting a reading from a spiritual. She is watching right now. Good. Keep watching. Leave my live alone, little girl.
And Karma T, if you're in here, I will send you the entire recording so you can post it.
We better get started. Is he coming on? Because they're going to take this shit down. And she's watching me right now, so you know she's at work. I already blocked one of her alphabet accounts. That's why I don't think it was a good idea to open it up to Light Crew. I think that was a mistake opening up to Light Crew, y'all, for real. I'd probably honestly just block them. They're watching anyway.
He's saying if they want to continue to support it,
here she is again, another account. Yeah, Light Crew got to go. I hate to do that to y'all, but we gotta block Light Crew again. They're watching anyway, so they don't need to be in here. That's our little minions like to mass report. I'm cool on them. So if they come back in, just block them on site, because I know it's hard now. We took them off the block list, but no more Light Crew allowed in here. That is an extension of Savage, don't forget. Back up to 90 people. If you want to get started, I don't know if he's coming now or whatever, but we can definitely get started. At least try to get through half this bitch. Guys, it is a long recording too, just so y'all are aware. And please follow May's account if this goes down so we can go over there. I need y'all mods on point. Thank you for the hearts. I see you. No Light Crew. No Light Crews allowed in here. No small accounts. No 0 PFPs. They got to bounce. No users. Thank you. I appreciate you. I try to be nice to the Light Crew, but they fucked it up already because I know they're doing it. Thank you, Denise. I appreciate that. Thank you for joining the team. Hey, Red Flame. We got 114 members on the team now, y'all. Hey, Jill.
all right.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and mute. I'm going to watch the chat. Homeboy coming. Thank you, Tina. I'll be muted, but if he comes in, just accept him.
Yeah, how you doing? My name's Mac. I was told that you'd be willing to talk to anybody about Nicole.
Well, it depends. Who are you?
Well, here you go. So I'm the guy on TikTok that everybody comes to when there's a problem. I'm the guy that, Nicole wanted to help a bunch of people, being that I was exposing them, go after my kids, make about 5 false CPS calls, investigations on my kids, put up false, articles on me on Google, got me locked up, swatted me. I don't know if you know what that is. They call, SWAT teams, stuff like that, have surround me. So I'm the one that hasn't backed down. So basically what it comes down to is that before I started TikTok, I had a fiance, my kids, a booming business, house on the water, in my house. I have none of that now. My choice, but I just don't back down. So it got to the point that if I didn't continue on doing what I'm doing to expose Nicole and other people that do this shit in her group, that I'm not going to allow anybody else to have to go through what I went through. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Why aren't you going to the place? Why aren't you going to the police? Why aren't you going to the police?
Well, you see, I've even been indicted because of this stuff. So here's the thing. So I don't validate lies, right? So when people make lies about me, I don't validate them. So I made it real easy for people to paint me in a certain way because it's just who I am, right? I'm not going to defend myself. I'm not, for what? You know what I mean? That's a waste of my time. So they like to keep sending cut up stuff to like the police and stuff like that. So they like to always threaten my kids, So I had a son that was shot and killed by the cops. They would constantly put out his 911 calls before he died. And then the ones where he was, when everybody said he was dead, I was, essayed by my grandfather. They like making accounts of that. They like making accounts of my kids, all that. They like getting in touch with my baby. So I don't, it got to the point that I broke up with my fiance. I separated myself from my kids so they could stop weaponizing them, right? So when they swatted me, again, I'm not the police. I tell them go fuck themselves, right? I was convicted felon. So when I got on TikTok, I try to be better, but I told people if you keep fucking with my kids, you're gonna turn me back to the person that don't give a fuck. So now that's the person they can't stand because everything they try that they usually do to everybody else, call people's cops, call the CPS, I don't back down. I've never complied with anything CPS ever wanted me to do, and I'm just never gonna, right? So what happened was that when they swatted me, they would always come to my lives and be like, oh, we're gonna kill your kids, and I was like, don't worry about it, I'll kill my kids myself because I don't let you weaponize my kids. Just like when they used a predator that did 5 years for raping a 15-year-old. Well, they gave him my 14-year-old's whole Facebook, right? And they gave to dox my kids. And the reaction I gave them, they didn't expect. Because I said, oh, you got pictures of my kids? I said, okay, what you want? This one, this one. So they don't know what to do with that. But then they turned around and used that to say that I was offering my kids to a pedo, even though this is a guy they try to get off the registry, right? So it's like, it was just a whole big swarm of things. So by the time that's when they said they were coming in and kill my kids and got me swatted, I said, don't worry about it. I said, I'll kill my own kids. So I was like, shit, I'll kill everybody. What the fuck? So they like chop that up, send it to the cops. Cause again, I tell everybody where I'm at. You want to talk shit to me? Here's my address. Come talk shit to me, right? 3 years, nobody's pulled up but cops and CPS, right? Nobody ever going to pull up do shit, right? So they took that. So the cops like, oh my God. And this was a new town I was in. And I told the cop, hey, I recorded the phone call with the dude. I was like, go to Tom's River, which is another town I had lived in. I said, go see how many times these people have called cops, and they know it's bullshit. And he's like, oh, we're just trying to handle this. I'm just like, bro, you're gonna look dumb. So in the end of it, right, they indicted me for causing a false alarm, even though I didn't call the cops. You know what I mean? So, but it comes down to this, right? They already know they fucked up because before they indicted me, they were trying to give me 90 days, right? And I'm just like, well, I mean, I've done 90 days sleeping before, right? It's not a big deal. The whole point of me, where I actually fired my lawyer, my first one, because he kept trying to get me to take a deal. I said, no. It's not about winning or losing. It's about exposing these people. Because it's not just Nicole, right? It's another group also that also had 2 federal lawsuits on them for the shit they do on TikTok, right? So it's not about it's not about winning, right? I don't give a fuck about doing 90 days. It's about exposing.
I don't understand why you don't defend yourself and your family, though. If somebody was talking that way about me and my family, it would be hell or high water why I allowed them to do that. But you just pacified it. As far as I'm concerned, it sounds like you just let it go. And
I didn't let it go. No, it's not letting it go. It's that what they do, it has to be, to be able to get harassment charges, to be able to get cyberbullying charges, you have to have an abundance of stuff because the cops, they brush it off like it's nothing. They're just like, it's the internet, no big deal, right? So what has to happen is that you have to sit there. You have to,
in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan.
Well, listen, I'm just telling you, I'm out of Jersey, right? I tried several times to go to the cops. Excuse me?
Sault Ste. Marie, you talked to Sault Ste. Marie cops?
No. Yeah, but I can't see. I live in Jersey, so I have to start in Jersey, right? That's how it works, right? I already tried this before, right?
How do you know Nicole?
From TikTok. I didn't know her. I never associated with her. She's friends with this group that I was out in for protecting a pedophile, and then they started December 7th, 2021 is when they started. Right. And it's been every day since. But again, my choice to deal with it. But they just started with the whole, attacking my kids, my family, shit like that. So, but here's the thing. I've tried several times to go to the cops. They don't care. Right. So from what I learned over the years of doing this is that you have to have an abundance of things. Now I live in Jersey. I mean, this is the way that Jersey works. Right. I can't start anywhere else. I mean, I've called, Michigan over there, and unless he's doing direct threats or something like that, and you know what I mean? So it comes down to prove cyberbullying, to prove harassment online. It's not just one or two things. You got to have a whole, which is why.
It sounds like you have it already, though.
Well, yeah. Well, but this is here you go. This is why when with the indictment where I fired my lawyer for trying to take the deal, and I got another so I could go to trial, right? So I'm not worried about winning or losing, but I'm going to win easily. But here's the thing: but it's to display everything that these people are doing and start the process there, because now I don't have to sit there and try to get the attention of the courts or a prosecutor to look, because now they're going to see everything.
Yeah.
But listen, this is just how it has to be done, because these people got away with it for so long. And like I said, it's not just Nicole, right? It's a group of people that just get their rocks off, like trying to ruin people's lives and bullying them, and even attempting to make people unalive themselves. What's that?
Nicole is definitely a bully.
I mean, well, here's the other thing, right? Yeah, I know you say like, all that stuff, like it's words, right? Words never bothered me, right?
Well, yes, they do. Words do hurt. I don't believe that.
Well, other people, yes, absolutely. I grew up without my parents. I grew up by myself, right? I sole survivor. I grew up in the hood, right? I've done a lot of things I'm not proud of, and there's a lot of things that I guess I'll pay for when it's that time. But here's the thing: it's like the last time I let words bother me was a long time ago, because here's the thing: everybody has something to say, especially when you're I guess a threat to them, as far as because they aren't themselves, right? Everybody on TikTok tries to be something different, right? Whereas in me, I just all I ever wanted to do was make dumb TikToks, right? People fuck with my kids brought me into what I do now. But here's the thing: as many people as don't like me, here's the thing: I don't go put false shit on people. If I don't have the facts, I don't put anything out, right? So I've gotten the reputation to that's everybody comes to me. The biggest creators you could think of have came to me to solve problems. But like Nicole is just a problem that where even people I don't like, where I have put my differences aside to focus on Nicole and the group that constantly do this to people and have been for years, that it comes to an end.
Yeah. Well, my solution would be get off TikTok. Don't let her have that access to.
Well, that's the whole thing. Well, no, I'm not. Believe me, I'm not complaining whatsoever. What I'm saying is that, I mean,
complain a lot if she was doing that to me, like I told you.
Yeah, but see, exactly. So this is why I'm doing it, because you're not going to hurt my feelings. But here's the thing. See, you say get on TikTok, but a lot of people, like, it doesn't just stop there, right? So Nicole likes to, once she knows that you're scared of her, she's going to keep going, right? Then she's going to keep like trying to mess, get you fired and all that stuff, right? So my whole point of what I'm doing is so it stops. So people, why do people have to not enjoy an app because of people like her, right? She's the problem.
Well, she would back off if she knew she wasn't getting to you anymore. Because that's what she's doing. She is.
Well, here's the thing. You know what I did to Nicole? You know what I did to Nicole? Here's the thing. So I always knew that she messed with my kids, right? So when everybody turned on her, right, and I seen an opportunity, I'm very opportunistic with what I do. I'm the best at what I do on the app. So I actually, reached out to her. Hey, how you doing? Everything's good. And she was like, why are you reaching out to me, Mac? She was like, you hate me. I was just like, listen, it's not right what they're doing. So what I did is I see an opportunity to befriend her and get her close. Well, it got Nicole fell in love with me, right? And when I had the chance, I shitted on her, right? I embarrassed her, all this shit, and she was very, very upset. But that's actually, like I said, with all this shit that was done to me by not just her, other people that she associates with. But that was the first time I ever felt any kind of little vengeance back from doing that to her. So Nicole's very angry. She doesn't address me. She addresses people that I hang out with because she knows she don't bother me, right? So she goes after other people around me and people I'm friends with, right? So, but this is the problem: is that it's not just that. It's the innocent people that if she doesn't like somebody for whatever reason, of what she does to people, and it's just. I'm fine. I'm willing to fucking do what I've done and keep on doing it so it comes to an end.
Yeah.
I don't think about myself. You know what I mean? I'm beyond that, right? I've done what I've done. You know what I mean? I'm okay with my decisions. So what I'm here to do now is just to make sure it doesn't happen to anybody else, because I mean, I have recordings of her, like, you know,
she'll do it till she stops. She will do this until she stops. She's been doing this for years.
Right, exactly. This is why I do what I do, because my goal is so they don't do it to anybody else. Now, listen, I don't know. It may not work, right? I may fail, but I don't know if I don't try.
I know. You need to try. You need to get hold of the police if it's not in your hometown, or go somewhere, or state police.
Well, yeah. Well, listen. There's a bunch of us that have come together and been working together for the same goal, right? I am just the one that'll be out there so that she tries to come and attack, because she don't bother me, right? Nobody does. Well, again, words don't bother me. So when you go out there and you make fun of this, or you say this, or you say that, I could give two shits. Like, you know what I mean? So this is why I'm the one that's in the front taking all the bullets, because, to be honest with you, the things they've done to me over the past almost 3 years, like, they would have literally pushed people to unalive themselves. And they literally get off on this stuff. It's sick. You know what I mean?
She does.
It's great. It's not just her, though. There's other people that, like, just are maybe not as vile and don't say that, but secretly they are, because they do the same shit. You know what I mean? They just don't brag about it. You know?
Yeah. She's horrible. Our family has all disowned her. We don't know. We just have nothing to do with her. She's not welcome in any of our homes because of her viciousness. Because if I would now even say anything to her, and I'm in my 70s, she'd come over here and vandalize my home. She'd do something, or hurt me in public. She would do the same thing she's doing to you. And we just don't have anything to do. We don't give her the foothold in our lives. I don't.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know what to say to you, her brother.
No, you don't have to say anything. No. Yeah. I was just like, no, listen, I don't know. I'm not looking for any kind of answers from you besides all the lies that I know that she.
Oh, yeah. Tells. She lies horrible. She don't know how to tell the truth. She said her 17-year-old daughter is living with her. I talked to her birth brother today, and I forgot that, her youngest one is 17, but there is no way that 17-year-old is living with her. That's one lie. She has a 17-year-old, and she would wish that, because it'd make her look good, but it's not true. She's not true at all. She is. She abandoned her children. When she was married to her husband, she just all of a sudden dropped them off and left. Dropped them off and didn't pick them up. She abandoned them. And she said she signed them off. Oh, crappy. She abandoned them. They got her on abandonment. And, there's all kinds of stuff that she says. And her ex-husband, her first ex-husband, no, it's the first one. He doesn't want to have anything to do with her. He doesn't even let us, like me as a grandparent, see the kids, because he does not want us to have me to
Who's
allow.
That, Mr. Tran?
Yeah, he doesn't want me to see the kids, because he does not want us to let Nicole come. He's afraid Nicole is going to come over here and see them or do whatever, which I would never, ever agree to. But he doesn't know me very well.
Right, I was going to say, but you really can't blame him. I was just going to say, if he doesn't know you that well, you really can't blame him.
Yeah.
It's very unfortunate for you, but but again, right? So if he doesn't know you the way that you are, and he doesn't know your relationship with her because he just got away from that craziness, he's just assuming that unfortunately that you would do something like that, which obviously that's not the case. You know what I mean? You do have grandparents' rights, correct?
Yeah.
Well, it's an actual thing, ma'am.
Yeah.
Like if you really want
No,
to.
they don't have that in Michigan.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm serious. We have no rights in Michigan. Grandparents' rights in Michigan.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, I know it is, but it's the truth.
So do you mind if I just like, maybe if you talk to me just for a touch, just kind of give me a summary from like the start and everything, because I really what I'm going to do, because you know what she does, right? She does stuff, she says stuff to look cool, and on the internet, like I said, a lot of people do the shit, and then like some people get sucked into her shit. Now here's the best thing about Nicole is that give her long enough and her true colors show, right? But it's the stuff in between of when people are listening to her, and then she gets like these people to help like attack like this innocent people. Again, I'm not worried about me, right? I'm worried about that at some point this has to stop, and it has to be taken seriously, and it never will be unless a bunch of us came together like we have. Like I said, I have people I don't even like that I'm working with just because it's the same goal and I'm willing to put my differences aside. And because it's a big problem where somebody can't even enjoy going on an app. There's some people that this app to them is their only out, right? Maybe they don't have friends, right? Maybe they're just that person that actually what Nicole is, a lonely, scared little girl, right? But don't act that way. But then you got somebody like Nicole that can sense that and see that and she just wants to to take over their lives, and you know what I mean? And it's just at some point it has to stop, right?
Yeah.
And then so the only way that, like I said, I've talked to FBI, stuff like that. It's you just have to have an abundance of stuff to get to the point to where even for them to put out a warrant, like nowadays, after the COVID stuff, they don't just put out warrants to extradite people. Like it has to be a lot of shit. And so to get her like extradited to any state, right, to the point that no, you're coming to my state to deal with charges, right? So now it's a whole different ball game, because if I could get charges here in Jersey, because Jersey's very, very strict with this shit, right? The cyberbullying, the harassment, but it's just a matter of the requirements to prove it is just as ridiculous as the penalties it carries. So it doesn't matter to me if she gets it here or even Florida. They have some pretty hefty charges for that stuff too. But it's also, there's a lot of us in different states that are working together, because in all reality, we get a couple of charges going in a couple of different states. You know what that does, right? It makes it federal. So that's the end goal, to be honest with you, is to, so she can't, no little bullshit slipping out. Because I know she's had many charges of harassment and bothering people on the phone and all that stuff over there in Michigan. Yeah. But as you see, Michigan doesn't take it that seriously.
Yeah.
Or she would have, because as many charges she had, they would have did something by now.
Well, the people aren't taking it serious, so they'll get after her, and then so that phone call that you need to stop, or we're going to press charges against you. That's what they did when she lived at home with me, and so then she stopped harassing this person because they pulled it, their blood.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know the word exactly, but they stopped.
I know what you're saying.
She got scared. She was caught, and she didn't want to push it any further. But people just ignore it. They just go on and don't push it any farther than they should. They didn't call the police. They called the telephone company, because she was doing it on telephone, and the telephone company called me, and called and talked, and he said, if Nicole continues to do this, then she will, they will go further with this. Well, she was a teenager then, and it scared her enough that she didn't want to do it then, anymore. And
what did she do? How did she make her money?
Her husband has a darn good job. He's a prison guard.
So she's still married to Mike Cornwell?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do they live together?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She is over 440 pounds. She is huge. She does not.
How tall is she?
Huh?
How tall is she?
5'6" or 5'7".
Oh, wow. Ma'am, I'm 6'3". I only made 240.
Yeah, she's way over 4. She traveled when she got arrested in Michigan or something for shoplifting. They booked her in at 440, and I think somebody was telling me that's the highest it goes. So, that's
Wow.
the biggest the scale is. So she can do more than that. She says,
so she still lives with Mike. She still lives with Mike, and she still lives with Mike.
No, Mike is a super nice guy, but has no balls. Seriously, you couldn't ask for a nicer guy. I think he's scared of her because she hurts. She gets mad, she hurts. She would hurt him. Literally hurt him. And he doesn't. He's a nice guy who wouldn't hurt her back. You know what I mean?
So he just watches her all day do this shit online? Because all she does is sit on TikTok all day.
No, he works during the day. And and he works overtime. She makes him work overtime every day if possible. She tells him he has to work overtime.
What about his kids? He has kids. What about that?
He lost his kids because of her. He lost his family because of her. Like she has lost her family, she has caused him to lose her family. So,
Can I just say she said that I was an abuser?
Adopted.
Sounds like she's one.
yeah.
So what age did you adopt her at?
At 7.
And what was she up for adoption for? What was the problem?
Her mother was a prostitute, and I found out after she came to live with us that Mom's customer molested her and found her. And
Oh wait, so Wesley or her uncle didn't?
No, Wesley
She
did
makes
not.
she says Wesley and her uncle. That's weird. No, I mean, why would you ever put
Wesley
that
was
on
her
somebody?
uncle. Wesley was her uncle.
Oh, she said it was her stepdad.
Huh?
She said that was her stepdad.
Yes. Her uncle was also her stepdad because they came to when Beth.
Oh, okay.
When Beth, her mother,
Okay.
was she pulled a knife on a guard at a Myers. It's a big store in the area.
Okay.
And pulled the knife on the guy. She got arrested and sent to prison. And anything over 3 years, the children automatically go up for adoption.
Oh, wow.
Well, Nicole's grandpa, there was nobody else because her grandma had died.
Right.
And there was nobody else. And we had a foster care license ready for 2 other young people. And
Right.
Heather and Tammy. And Gene asked if we had any openings, and we did have 2. And he asked us, he begged us, no joke, begged us to take Nicole and John. Well, his family, and we said, okay, we'll take her, as a foster kid. Well, and then because she got more than, 3 years,
Right.
she went up for adoption, and we were adopting Tammy and Heather already, and we adopted all 4 at the same time. But yeah.
Well, that's very nice of you.
Well, it was family, and I had no regrets on Sean, her brother. He's a heck of a nice guy. He can't stand her. She can't even, she wants to get back with him really bad and is always trying to pull stunts to get back in his good graces, but he wants nothing to do with her. He doesn't even want to mention her name or
Right.
her name among us. She has done so many mean things to everybody in our family. They have nothing to do with her. And,
Wow.
you know.
That's unfortunate. So as she was, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's just she is put herself where she is.